Greetings, folks. Once again, I'd like to thank all of you for your support in acquiring the works from both the Grimorio Goetia collection, with the sequence of the 72 names of demons, as well as the Grimorium Verum Carpe Nicrum collection. Remember that demons is the Greek name for foreign gods, so their good or evil lies in the hands of those who use them, not in the demons themselves who carry out the requests of those who summon them. So, I repeat that there is truly a lot of material, content, and activities available for you to assemble your coven, lair, sect, or even a left-wing religion, with a lot of interactivity. In the first volume, Introduction, there are many options for individual development in magic, so that when you become familiar with individual techniques, you can practice magic solitarily and then adapt these techniques to each daemon with whom you will operate in the other 3 volumes, High Hierarchy, Low Hierarchy, and Forgotten. By the way, one thing I always forget to mention is that in the method of reaching the sacred guardian angel of Abramelin, the process is through demons, not angels. Just for this reason, I hope you understand the need for humans to develop through the realization of their will, not to obey a universal order under the command of celestial beings. Okay, justice is for everyone and only those who plant tomatoes will harvest tomatoes, but regardless of the universal disorganization that someone's will may cause, it is in this change from the commonplace that things happen. Otherwise, they follow the natural course of events. But to understand some of the many options for intervening and achieving your will, in the Grimorium Verum Carpe Nicrum collection, in the first volume, Introduction, just to mention examples of covered activities, there is guidance on working with sigils, offerings and altars, oils and incense, candles, herbs, prayers, talismans and spells, magic knots, hand of glory, dolls, pacts, IMPs, crossroads, etc., in case you organize your coven, lair, sect, or even a left-wing religion. This is sensational content to train new neophytes so that they enter the group with a lot of experience, and the good thing is that by working with the other books from the same collection, you can expand all the techniques learned well beyond the manual and adapt them to any and every name with which you will operate, each with activities consistent with their line of action. I am truly grateful to all the people who choose to either buy or read my ebooks on Kindle Unlimited. I would like to remind you that, although it may seem like authors don't earn anything from it, the more people rent ebooks to read, the more your reading pays us. Of course, if you rent and return the book without reading it, neither you learn anything nor us, the authors, earn anything. As I now offer works exclusively through KDP, you can find my works and those of many other authors who offer access through the same system by paying a fixed monthly fee. In my case, several works that were previously only available in print are now converted into ebooks, available for you to borrow through the Kindle Unlimited program, and you can keep them on your Kindle device until you return them along with books from other authors. Therefore, before you buy my ebooks or printed books, as well as those of other authors, you can get to know the material and read it. If you like it, then you can buy it. The good thing is that the Kindle Unlimited program only limits the number of ebooks you can have on your account to 20, but you can exchange them infinitely by returning one and borrowing another. Of course, you can exchange these books for new ones by paying the current monthly fee. When the month ends, you pay for a new month and get another month to borrow new ebooks. Remember, the monthly fee is for borrowing new ebooks, and you can take your time to read them without being forced to return them, even if the subscription expires. But let's get to the point. Today's video is longer than usual, but for a good reason. In addition to discussing a name that was not mentioned in The Sacred Magic of Abramelin, the Mage, and does not exist in Lucifer and Hidden Demons by Theodore Rose, which was not found in the sources with proper guidance in Pathworking Magic of Abramelin, I now offer an exclusive expansion of the ebook or printed book on pathworking for the Abramelin Standard in Portuguese, Spanish, and English. So, now I offer a new unpublished activity that is for you to enjoy the practical pathworking material that you have already acquired, according to the proposal of the ebook, here at Chaos Magic Time. Beforehand, just to explain why I haven't made the videos about the Necronomicon Grimoire yet, I am writing another more important book, but still in progress, so I have postponed again. The theme I am currently writing is for everyone to enjoy, including myself. So it is not exclusive to people who like Necronomicon and works of that genre, so I'm sorry to inform you, but I will have to postpone the plans to update the Necronomicon Grimoire. Anyway, you can still enjoy the Necronomicon Grimoire on Amazon, as it is one of the books I offer there. I am increasingly happy with the results of my exclusive dedication to this platform, one of the largest sales centers in the world, not because they acquire all companies like Meta mistakenly does and break everything associated with that brand, but because Amazon has become a reliable sales platform with great prices, including for all companies that work on that platform. Despite the vast and growing competition, there is only one problem that is exclusive to Brazil regarding the sale of this work, in the United States. The same book costs $0.99, which is less than 100 Brazilian reals, and can be accessed through the same code 85912575561 on the .com site, not the .com BR. Remember that so far, the importation of books is not subject to import tax, however. Amazon in Brazil abuses the consumer and charges 226.96 Brazilian reals claiming it is from a foreign supplier. Ironically, I don't receive anything if you buy in Brazil, and if you buy cheaper in the United States, I receive the royalties, unfortunately. Talking to the direction of Amazon in Brazil is like talking to walls, with no response to date, so I can only ask you to save money by buying from the American site. Rest assured that the Necronomicon Grimoire is already sensational. But let's get to today's topic about the daemon treated in Code 9.06. Remember that all the demons of Kore were ignored in the literally sexist method of traditional ceremonial magic of the Middle Ages. Anyone who thinks that in magic there are only male archetypes can change the channel. Definitely ignoring this resource for human development just because it includes a female stereotype will greatly hinder your personal success. However, I warn you here to retire this unscrupulous sexism, especially since the reach of this energy of horizontal justice is universal. More than simply human. Continuing, today's activity is a lesson in civility, even for me as an eternal apprentice, where it will be used, as previously mentioned, horizontal justice as a complement to the activity already presented in the work, precisely to complete it as the final touch. This time, the suggested recommendation is for the satisfactory dissolution of partnerships for both you and the parties involved. I know that the term partnership is very focused on business structures, but it goes far beyond that. Understand that couples should be a partnership where, even if the couple is of different sexes, respect is given through equality between both parties in terms of respect given and received, each with their own personal characteristics. Thus, this could include marital separation. But it is difficult to combine the issue of justice with the issue of love, with values that often become confused. I wanted to emphasize the universal reach because since China recently brought the detection of numerous amounts of water on the moon in its lunar research, this mere detail will make human exopolitics much more serious than dealing with aliens, but delicate mainly to deal with humans who colonize the moon. This is because the territorial politics in space exploration promulgated by the UN gives numerous causes for conflict, rather than a solution. For example, lunar exploration was retired by the Americans just because the bankrupt NASA put a flag on the moon and declared that no one else could explore the moon, forgetting its exploration in obscurity with only the flag waving in the vacuum. Now, we not only have the Chinese, but also only other private companies interested in space exploration. However, the imminent formation of human colonies outside the planet Earth will have the same positive impact that the discovery of the Americas had 500 years ago, including for the terrestrial economy. Indiana, these colonies, self-sustaining infrastructure formations will be necessary, starting from these lunar colonies initially made on our planet, and as human beings who will inhabit these colonies, they should be treated in the same structure as the aforementioned horizontal justice, as equals. Understand that here, more than any other occasion before, the practice of magic is much more intense than mere fiction could declare, as it will make things happen according to our will, instead of becoming a missile war of the bellicose ancestors of a nation attacking another, just to sustain weapons manufacturers. Magic seeks what every military should seek, peace, so just as every morning of peace with their subordinates would be a victory for high-ranking military officers, as practitioners of magic, this peace is our resource for success. I say this because chaos has no owner or direction. Nor even chaos magic practitioners are reactive, but we project results precisely so that we can triumph in peace, even if derived from chaos. Otherwise, it would be the same as building our castle and empire on sands.
So what is the name of today's activity?
The new activity I will give you to develop ourselves and our personal path on any theme is unprecedented in the ebook and book, Abramelin's Pathworking Magic, the Mage, which I named, Separated, but United.
What is it? How does it work?
As most human beings are still on planet Earth, whether we are victims of a hypothetical catastrophe or continue with our normal daily lives, this ideal of horizontal justice involves any and all forms of human social interaction, as I believe we are in the same condition. On our planet Earth and among human beings, we can say it is a collective need. When this message reaches humans who explore other planets in the future, it is a step forward, and I leave it to them to solve their own problems, as here on our planet and in our time we already have many. This magic seeks to ensure that any dissolution of a society, no matter what it may be, ends peacefully and with the least loss for all parties involved, when seeking your own well-being through this magic. It is implicit that you will not give up the wealth that the dissolution of the society will provide you to give to the poor, and naturally, you will seek your own well-being as well. Don't worry, besides you, other parties involved also care about their own interests. Therefore, for the dissolution of society to be satisfactory for all parties, the pathworking of Code 9.06 that you will perform will be to observe the other party on equal footing, regardless of whether one party invested more than the other during the society or not. Here we deal with mature people who do not create problems but seek to solve them.
How can a personal pathworking solve an interpersonal issue?
As emphasized, when dealing with people and one of them is involved in resolving a problem, it's like hearing the sound of an airplane crash and trying to find a safe place to avoid it. Thus, all decisions made by you will impact the decisions of all parties involved. I know that in societies where we participate without decision-making power, we have little influence, such as in some anonymous societies, but these are cases where vertical justice is involved. To understand horizontal justice more easily, when a couple or same-sex partners are broke, the lack of food is equal for both. In companies or vertical justice societies, the one who earns more is the one who paid more and is usually in charge. Therefore, in this horizontal justice, every decision made by the people involved will count for everyone due to the generated impact. Thus, as complex as it may be to resolve these situations, actions will be much more influential than ritual or ceremonial magic. In this case, mental magic and the attitudes molded by it are usually the key details that will be used to resolve everything, thus revealing the difficulty because, despite resolving interpersonal goals, it is an activity directed towards individual attitudes and decisions.
What's the relationship with wars and space exploration?
Wars are precisely unresolved interpersonal issues. Space exploration is precisely when two or more human beings isolate themselves and realize the need for horizontal justice among themselves, rather than vertical justice when we can understand horizontal justice. Otherwise, when options exist, the term itself makes human beings look in another direction than those similar to them, so, more than just being people's big brother, showing their most putrid features in closed rooms for personal publicity. The interaction of different people in space colonies will shape new molds for these involved people, still in a horizontal justice system.
What does the Holy Guardian Angel have to do with it?
More than just solving possible problems you may have with the dissolution of a society you have become involved in, the Holy Guardian Angel also involves getting to know yourself in order to know how to deal with yourself, as highlighted in the previous video about chakras. Personal magic is no different. We always have more to develop, and that is what these activities with the Holy Guardian Angel are for. That's it, folks. You can perform this activity anywhere, as long as you have the conditions to relax and perform it. Usually the result of your development with meditation. I know that in our society, which is increasingly accelerated in its anxiety index, it increasingly undermines people who seek to develop their own concentration, but that is precisely where there is a field to improve. Since you define how and where you need to develop to achieve your success, it requires you to practice as much as possible. This video was not very long, but anyway, for those who can help me abroad by also acquiring the ritual notebooks, which are pocket-sized notebooks with blank or lined pages related to Goetia for recording writings exclusively for magic, while at the same time serving as a portal for pathworking on the cover itself. They already offer resources for your activities in this pattern. Just search for Notebook and Tesla D. Murbox for these pocket books, each with the sigil of one of the 72 Goetic demons on the cover. So, thank you for your presence and I wish you all a great week. Big hug, we in